Welcome to LoyalTV. This week, we find out how Ardmore, Oklahoma was able to rise from the ashes of a devastating fire and become stronger than ever.
About 1 a.m., the citizens were awoken to the sound of revolver fire, and they were alerting the citizens to a fire that had started in a livery stable down on Caddo Street. This is 1895. This was a Friday, so the town had been busy on regular business the day before, and the citizens had kind of had a chance to go to sleep and were awakened by the shots. The fire ends up consuming about 86 buildings. Of those 86 buildings, the total damage was estimated at that time of about $810,000. Today's money, you're looking at over $20 million in damage. Walking through downtown Ardmore, it was nothing that they had witnessed before. There was total devastation. The men of the community came together to do the best they can, but you're talking a bucket brigade. They would have to drop their buckets into water wells, and it's not anything that we can fathom to this day. After that, the town rebuilds. The community comes together and they're able to put together a lot of the property that was lost. The fire department began as officially organized. Ardmore was the cotton capital of the world at one point. All the merchants and everybody came together on Saturdays to deliver their cotton and to sell it, and it was quite an event. Then later in 1915, the town suffered another loss, what they called the Great Explosion. There was a gasoline tanker car sitting downtown, basically, on the tracks, and citizens were complaining about the smell of gasoline in there, so they sent a gentleman from the refinery down to take a look at it and see what he could do. At some point while he was on top of the tank car, it exploded and wiped out a massive area of our downtown area again. And there were, I believe, over 60 deaths, and it was quite an ordeal once again for the city of Ardmore. The pictures of the dead horses, for some reason, really hits me. And I think it just makes me think of, not only were their human lives lost, that was how they made their money, was with that livestock. And it was a tremendous shock to them to lose those animals. In 2015, to commemorate the 100-year anniversary of the Great Explosion, we did an exercise where we simulated the same event happening today. And the challenges that we face today weren't that much different than what they were dealing with back then. The fathers that were around in those days were kind of speaking to us on, hey, you need to wake up and this is something you need to pay attention to. Even with the modern technology that we have, there are still issues that we were able to identify that we think can help make Ardmore even better in the future. Ardmore is a very resilient community, and even today, the community comes together as one whenever there's a tragedy, and that's something I think we should be very proud of.
Next week on LoyalTV, we will continue to tell more of the best Oklahoma stories you've never heard.